Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my all-time favorite fantasy series, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan / Brandon Sanderson at the end. I'm going to go over my top 10 moments from the series, so there are going to be massive spoilers. There are definitely moments that happen in the very last book that are going to make it onto this list. So be warned, if you want to watch it anyways, go ahead, but there are going to be huge spoilers for the series, so just be warned. I'm doing this list because if you don't know, season 2 of The Wheel of Time is supposed to come out September 1st, so we are getting very close to season 2. I was not the biggest fan of season 1, and I don't think a lot of people were, but I'm hopeful. I'm going to go into season 2 and really hope that we get some things that fans wanted. I don't know if that will happen, but I'm going to be positive for now, and we'll see if that happens. But without anything else, let's go ahead and jump into my top 10. So I think starting in the number 10 spot might be a little bit of a surprise for a lot of people. I don't think many people will even remember this moment or think of it being anything special, and it actually comes from The Eye of the World. And this was the first moment when I was reading The Eye of the World where I was really invested in the story. It actually isn't even that deep into the book. It is when Moiraine and the Emond's kids are running from all over the Trollocs. And very early on, they're kind of getting surrounded, and Moiraine pulls out her staff, which is an Ungryal or something, and displays this massive firewall that it separates them and the Trollocs. And I don't know what it was about this moment, but when I was reading it, I knew the TV show was happening, and I remember reading that moment and just saying, wow, I cannot wait to see that on the show. Unfortunately, it didn't make it into the show, but this is also really the first moment that I can remember where we really get to see some of the magic in the series, because we don't get to see Moiraine fight when Emond's Field is attacked. And so getting this first real powerful moment from a character was just really special, and it's something that has always stuck with me, even though this is super early on in the series. Like I said, overall, it's not a really important moment. It's not super impactful to the story overall, but it just stuck with me, and for whatever reason, it is one of my favorite moments in all of The Wheel of Time. In the number 9 spot, we have to go all the way to The Memory of Light, and it is actually at the very end of the story, and it is when Rand lights the pipe. I love the ambiguity behind it, that we don't really know how he did it, what's going on. And part of it is it lets me think and be creative of what I think happened after the story ended. Sometimes that's something I really like to do, is just kind of have fan fiction of what I think happened after the story is over. And I know there was probably plans for the series to continue if Robert Jordan hadn't passed away. And so the fact that we don't get it is sad, but it does this ambiguous ending, and just how out of left field it is, just and all of the questions that are then surrounded about Rand and what is he and what is going on in the world. It just stuck with me. I think it was an interesting ending. I don't know if a lot of people like that ending, and I know there's a lot of conversations about that scene in particular, but it is one of my favorite moments, mostly for the fact that it makes me think the story continues even though we don't get to see it. And for whatever reason, that's just super comforting to me and something I really like. Number 8, we go to the Lords of Chaos, and it is not the moment you are thinking of, though that is on the list. This is actually when Logain is healed. Not only just because Logain gets healed, but this also leads to Siuan getting healed, and I think that her not being stilled anymore, I think was awesome, and seeing the dynamic of the White Tower and how power really affects the dynamic and the hierarchy inside of the tower was really cool, and getting to explore that through Siuan. So it was really nice to see her get healed. But just the fact that we learn that stilling and gentling can be healed, and that oh crap moment when she realizes she's healed Logain, and she instantly slams a shield in the way, and just that whole moment is just it gave me chills, and it's just such a fun moment, and it really changed the dynamic of this world. The whole series up until this point, we're told that this is something that can't be fixed, and just how devastating it is to be gentled or stilled sticks with me. I still can remember when Siuan in particular is gentled, and they're just in the chamber, and I think it's Lyanna who says, they stilled me, and she just is in like such pain and disbelief. And so being able to give that back to people who lost that ability is just super cool. And yeah, just the chills I got when Logain was healed was just awesome. The number 7 spot comes from a Crown of Swords, and this is actually when Nynaeve gets over her block. I love this moment. Nynaeve was such an interesting character for me. She went from a character who I had such mixed feelings about, honestly didn't really like her, and she grew into being my second favorite character. She really exemplifies the changes that the Emond's Field 5 goes from Eye of the World all the way to Memory of Light, and just how they are such vastly different people, and the character growth that they get is just next level. And I was so frustrated with her at this point because it was so clear what her block was and that she just needed to let go. And she's, at the bottom of this like trap. She can't do anything, and she just finally does it. And then it's gone. And she realizes like, oh my gosh, my block it's gone. And also just seeing the whole concept of a block and getting over that, it was another really cool thing. And just that whole moment, and then Lan comes and saves her. But I don't know, just one of her defining moments is finally just getting over this because we know she's so powerful and talented and all of the superlatives you can give to Nynaeve, and when she is finally able to get through that block, it's just a really special moment. And I think that's really probably where for my enjoyment of that character really started to teeter onto her moving up my rankings really quick once she got over that block. It wasn't just a block for her magic, it was also a block on me for enjoying her, because it was just so obvious that she had this one fatal flaw that she just needed to let go, and when she finally did that, it was great. In the number 6 spot, we go to my favorite book in the Wheel of Time, The Gathering Storm, and I'm pretty sure this is when this moment happens, but it is when Egwene defends the White Tower from the attack that they're getting from the Seanchan. Big, powerful moments and displays of power are always something that just gives me chills. And while Egwene is definitely not my favorite character, I find her to be extremely frustrating and just not a character I liked all that much, she does have some great moments, and this is one of them. When she is defending the tower, and we know just how awful the things the Seanchans do to channelers, it's just, really barbaric, horrific, and obviously an allegory for slavery pretty directly with everything going on there. So just seeing her being disrespected constantly, all the things she's trying to do in this moment when she's like trying to say, no, I am the Armelin, this is me, I'm gonna prove it to everybody, no matter what you do, you're not gonna beat me down. And then she comes out in this triumph, light, and just wreaks havoc and saves as many of her sisters as she possibly can. I mean, it's just an amazing moment. It's giving me chills just thinking about it, and just a huge display of power. And it really cemented an arc that she had been on, where she was really building up to being this, self-confident, powerful character. And that part of her I did like. There are other parts of her character I don't like, but this aspect of her just standing up for what she thinks is right and everything, culminating in this just epic display of power, where we know power is very important to the White Tower. It's just great. And for our number 5 spot, we will go back to A Memory of Light and stay with Egwene, and it is the Flame of Tar Valon. A lot of this, what I just said, goes into this battle as well. I wasn't sure how they were going to deal with this character at this point, because he was so powerful and just seemed to be wreaking havoc. Like nobody could do anything, and the Balefire stuff that's going on, and to just see Egwene come out and sacrifice everything to fix as much as possible, because obviously the Balefire is destroying basically the fabrics of reality, and she's able to figure out a new weave that replaces, that is born of creation instead of destruction. It's just really beautiful. I think it was a very good end to her character. I think she needed to have this moment of putting everything else behind her, showing that she really is the Armelin. She really is everything that the White Tower needed in this moment, and she's just able to be, so powerful. And yeah, I mean, I was sad when she died, but I really do think she went out with a bang, and it was just, some of the most amazing moments come from the last battle, and this is definitely one of them. In the 4th spot, we go back to Lords of Chaos, and this is Dumai's Wells, but not just Dumai's Wells. Specifically, the box is one of the things that I find most fascinating. The whole transition of them moving Rand after he's been captured and he's in the box, all the back and forth he's having with Lews Therin, and just all of this contemplation going on in his head, and this really, expands upon his character, and a lot of the faults he has moving until much later into the series is because of his time trapped in that box, and his, not being able to do anything, being beaten, just everything. It's some of the best writing and I think character dissection in the Wheel of Time, because the things he's going through are just so difficult. And we get to spend a lot of time with just him in this box, and how he's persevering, how he knows he's going to figure something out, and he's just trying to figure out how to break a shield, and just everything that's going on in the box. And then we get to when he does get out of the box. I think he like instantly stills like 2 or 3 channelers, and we get the Asha'man kill, and just everything about that, as well as the box situation. It's some of the best in the entire series. Obviously, this is very high up on my list. I know a lot of people probably have this at number 1. I mean, Asha'man kill, kneel or you will be knelt. Like, these are big displays of power. We get to see the Asha'man for the first time in like real action, and just how barbaric and powerful and disturbing it is that they're basically just meat grinders, destroying everybody. But it is a powerful moment, and it's not, like I said, it's not just Dumai's Wells and all of that after the fact. It is while Rand is in the box and dealing with that situation. It's just fantastic. It is something that has stuck with me a lot. Just the idea of being trapped in a box and then only being taken out to be beaten and humiliated over and over again. It's just, I mean, it's tough, but it is fantastic for the story. We are in the top 3 now, and we go back to my favorite book, The Gathering Storm, and it is Veren's revelation that she is actually a member of the Black Ajah. I always wondered, reading up to this point, we always kind of got this like, there's something wrong with Veren. Maybe we shouldn't trust Veren. There's always this kind of hesitation, and you do build a lot of trust into her up until this point, but there was always just in the back of my head of how they talked about her that maybe something was going on. And I'll be honest, when we first realized she lied, I thought she was actually part of the Black Ajah, that she was going to be the downfall of some important characters, that she had been working against our heroes and everything the whole time. And to really get what's going on and how she's actually on the good side, and she had to go against everything to investigate the Black Ajah and know what's going on there, and just really being that inside source that provided the most important bit of information that anybody could have wanted in this series. It's just super special, and you just are so proud of Veren. It's just, brought a tear to my eye when it happened. It's another great display of character development. We take a character who we're on the fence about, we grow to trust them, and then instantly that is undercut super quickly. I know it's turned around very quickly chapter-wise, and there's not like a big long drawn out of like, this is displayed and we go away from it for a super long time, and we kind of know what happens rather quickly. But it is just such an amazing moment, and a really triumphant moment for the good guys, because things aren't looking too well. We're not sure at this point. There's so many things going on. I'm not sure how we're gonna move the plot along as well, and just the information that Veren's able to pass along is just awesome. Everything about it is awesome. It's so sad to see her go, but it was worth what she did. In the number 2 spot, we have from Knife of Dreams, and it is the Golden Crane, the speech that Nynaeve gives about Lan trying to gather Borderlands so that they can go and fight the last battle. I definitely cried when this speech happened. It is a moment that I have gone back to and listened to multiple times, read it multiple times. It's just such a special moment, and it's different than a lot of moments because it's not like some big epic battle. It's not like a power thing. It's not even like a plot twist, anything like that. This is just Nynaeve going out and saying something that really needs to be said, that a lot of these people have forgotten, what they're supposed to be doing. They're calling, they're kind of out there wandering, and they really just need like somebody to give them that push to, go back and do what they're supposed to do. Obviously, Lan wants no part of it. He is out just wandering, just walking, because, she transports him to the farthest possible point away. But that speech is just, it's some of the best writing that I've read, and maybe part of it is I'm so invested. I mean, you're so invested in the story at this point. This is really deep in, what is this, book 11, I think? I think 11, and it's just, at this point, this is really when Nynaeve was really up there at top level character for me, and then for her to do this, her relationship with Lan and everything was just great. And so for her to do this and sacrifice, letting him go and also trying to support him still at the same time, I mean, how do you not love this moment? And now we are at my number 1 spot, and we go back to the Gathering Storm, and this is Rand on the top of Dragonmount. This is definitely the moment I said I'd go back and reread Nynaeve and the Golden Crane. This is definitely the moment that I have gone back to. If I'm in a bookstore and they have The Gathering Storm there, I pick it up, find this chapter, and just read it. That's how powerful it is to me. Just everything, I just felt for Rand for so long. It really does start with the box and Dumai's Wells and just all of this pressure that's put on him even before that. We know he's the dragon. All of this stuff, all this pressure on somebody who doesn't want it at all. And everything that's built up to him, he feels betrayed. He can't trust anybody, everything. And he's just ready to just end everything up there with the key. And all of the power, he's just like, pulling in. Everyone can see him from, the top of Dragon Mount, or, people who can see channeling. And everyone is just like, what is going on up there? And you just get this inner monologue of Rand and just everything that's going on with him. Man, it is just such a special moment. It still gives me chills to think about it. It is, I'll just be randomly going about my day and I'll just start thinking about it. And it takes everything in me to not just download the audiobook just to listen to it again, because it is just such a special moment for me. I absolutely adore this moment. This is the moment why The Gathering Storm is my favorite book. I mean, this book has so many good moments, but this is the one that just puts it over the top for me. This is the reason why I gave that book 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely love this book, and this is the moment that cemented it as one of my all-time favorite books. This moment is just so special. There are so many other moments that I probably could have gone on here. Some of this list, if I tried to do it again tomorrow, it would change, because the Wheel of Time just has so many amazing moments. But number one will definitely always be Rand on the top of Dragon Mount. Please let me know your favorite Wheel of Time moments down in the comments. This is a series that I absolutely love, and I would love to hear why you love a moment, what's special about it to you, all of that good stuff. But as always, have a good one.